Hi there, it's Jan here. Been a bit of a break, but back to doing the gardening yearbook for my friend. I've been doing a few other things in the meantime, getting ready for Christmas, etc. So anyway, I'm actually up to October, I believe, and I'm hoping today to get October, November and December done, so that the last part of the video is going to be just doing the cover and that, because I really need to get this sent off, and it's part of a gift box package. So without further ado, this is October, and October's colour is pink apparently, and it is daisies, which, you know, I kind of thought would have been earlier on in the year, but apparently not. So what I've done is I've collected together some daisy-like flowers, but in a more autumn colours, which I think should go well. So yeah, let's have a go with this and see what happens. So this page here is going to be a flip down page, and I've got two magnets here just to remind me. I've already put the magnets on the actual flip page, but I've got to put them also on the actual page itself. So let's, as usual, I've got a lot of things prepared just to try and save some time. So let's just try and sort of get on with it and that really, and see what happens. So I think the first thing I need to do really is to, I'm just going to put aside all the bits that are to do with you know, the two pages. So this is all for this page here, and I'm so sorry about the shadows. I'm doing the best I can, but it's very dark here. I've got 3 lights on at the moment, but I can appreciate if it's difficult to see, you know, too much. But like I say, I have to do this today because it's got to go. So anyway, this page, as I say, is going to flip upwards, or flip down really. Hold on, let me just make that better. So this is going to be attached under here like this and centered up, and the page will flip downwards. So I've put the 2 magnets on here, and what I need to do now is get them positioned onto here as well, because on here, because then I can cover it with the paper. I've put 2 magnets on because this is a new set of magnets, and they're just as weak as the other set, which is very disappointing, but not a lot I can do about it, unfortunately. But yeah, anyway, so I've stuck the 2 magnets on with double-sided tape, and I'm going to slip a bit of double-sided tape underneath them, and when I close the page up, hopefully it will stick to the right position on the other one. So I'm just going to put a piece of tape on there. It's very difficult to hold it down. I'll try and stay out of what little light there is as much as I can. So I'm going to put that there, drop the magnet on to find its, you know, where it needs to go, and do the same with the other one as well. There we go. Drop the magnet on. Lovely. Now that all remains to be done is to hook this underneath this page here, get it centered up where it needs to go. So it's exactly the same size as the page, this one, it's just shorter, you know. And then give this a good press down, and that should stick the magnets in the right place. Let's have a look. Yeah. Then I can just kind of go round them and make sure they're stuck down, which is great. So that having been done, I've got the tape on the back of this paper, but it doesn't fit. So what I decided to do was, and it sounds a bit bizarre, but hopefully it's going to look okay, is this piece of paper is actually called Springtime. So even though I've used it here, yeah, it's actually called Springtime. So as with the others, I've kept the name on it. So anyway, I'm going to stick it down there. I'm going to put this here, and then I have another little leftover strip of the green, because I like using all my bits, which I'm going to put at the bottom to kind of make this fit the page. So let me start off with this one at the top. It's got a bit of tape on it. I've put some tape on it already. Oops, come off. I'll just pop a bit of glue at the bottom as well. I've recently started transferring my glue into these little tiny pots with the little nozzle and a stainless steel needle, and it's so much better. It really is. It's so much easier to manage it if you've got, you know, like I have, you've got a bit of trouble with your hands and that, but bit of, you know, stiffness in your joints. It makes a huge difference. Right, so that's that bit. Now let me take off this tape here, which is something I'm always forgetting to do. There we go, that's that piece. And now it's just a case of sticking this piece of paper on. So I'm just removing the backing, score tape backing. I really hope she likes this when it's done. I'm sure she will. Right, okay. So let's just get this lined up. Whoops, wants to stick down straight away. So not really leaving a gap there. I'm just going to put it quite close up to that green part there. Let's budge it over a bit because it's not level. Budge, 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 budge. Come down a bit. There we go. Right. I can go ahead and remove the rest of this tape. Okay, that's great. Now that just leaves me a little gap at the bottom, which I'm going to put this piece of green in as well, so it ties in with the top. I want to leave a little tiny gap at the bottom so it kind of matches in. Let's get that lined up. There we go. That's good, and the magnets are trapped underneath there, which is great. I'm just going to go over that and make sure they're properly stuck down. So the next thing that needs to be done is to decorate this. Let's move that out of the way. It's to decorate this. Put the lid on here before it all dries up. There we go. So for the inside, I'm going to use these two pieces. That's right, that's the pieces for here. These are the little tag things that, you know, we put in. Right, okay, so now I can either choose to have this one on the outside, which is very pretty, it's always my preferred choice, or I can choose to have this one on the outside. let's go with this one for a change. Because I've used this one quite a lot as the, you know, the front sort of cover, because it is so gorgeous. So less is more, as they say, so try not to overdo it. Fix this one up. This is pretty straightforward, this one. It just needs to be lined up. Would be more helpful if I put that down, I think. And I can take that to that crease. Yeah, that fits perfectly. That out of the way. And that. Turn it round and remove the backings. Yeah. So that's the piece that's going to go at the front, how it's going to flip up. Now let me, oh yes, and the magnets are attaching fine. Ready? Yeah, that's doing fine. So now let's get this piece on, and this needs to go this way up obviously, because you want to see it when you flip it down. So let's get the tape peeled off here. Wow, great backing, doesn't want to come off. Some days you find that, and I find it the warmer it is. I've got the central heating on because it's absolutely freezing at the moment. Right, let's take the backing off of this one and two. I'm trying to keep back as far as I can so that, you know, the shadows are not totally destroying everything. Right, does that match up? Let's have a look. A bit less. Just the tiniest of edges. There we go. Now, let's just lift that up a bit and take this off. And this one. There we go. Now let's see if it still attaches. Yes, it does. It's okay, it's fine. That's good. It's been a worry. But yeah. Okay, so now it's the lace, just to disguise this whiteness. If the backing wants to come off of this as well. It just doesn't seem to want to at the moment. I use my tweezers and as an extension to my fingers. Right, okay, make sure I get the lace the right way up. It took me ages to work out that there was a right and there was a top and a bottom to this. But there you go. So that's stuck on now. Needs a little trim at the side to tidy it up. There we go. Press that down, and now I think it's time to attach this to there. These pages are all pretty straightforward really. Like I say, this is very, very easy sort of album. I've made it deliberately so for the lady. So it's just a case now of putting this on here, because I know it fits exactly side to side. There isn't a gap. I haven't left a gap at all. Put that on there. Just that side of the crease. No, it's too far up. There. Is that better? Yeah, I think that's better. Let's try it. Yeah, perfect. So it just needs to be turned over and go down with the bone folder. Give it a really, really sharp press down and encourage it to stay there. So now it's just about decorating it. So I've printed the to-do list on the back of the picture because I thought she could also use the wording there as well. And we've got one of these little pieces. We have this, which I've left blank on the back so that she could put a photo on there. Here's another one of those little stamps, and I guess this one is, I put this one as being the calendar. So now then, if I cut another piece of lace because it's thinking about how we're going to put these flowers in and make it, you know, quite attractive. So I personally don't think I'll put anything else on the front except that, apart from, you know, the stones, etc., the little gemstones. So I think I'll put everything else inside. Now, since I've got two of these little daisy stamps, it's a case of whether or not to put one on here and one on the bottom, like that, to put the little cards in. Say like that one could go in there, but it does obscure the picture a bit. And this could go in here. This one and this one could go in here like that. Yeah, I think that's okay. So that's what I'll do. I'll stick this onto here. So it just requires a tiny, tiny little bit of glue just around the edge. It's so much easier with this little thin nozzle. And it's so much easier to squeeze the bottle when it's this small. So yeah, I'm just going to tuck that as best I can down there. Push that down, hold it for a second or two. Give it a bit of a burnish, that should help it. And then this with the date on it, you know, with the calendar on it, that's what can go in there. That looks okay. And then this bit here, I'll do exactly the same thing here. I don't want to interfere with those magnets. I thought about putting it at the top, but that will interfere with those magnets, and they're weak enough as it is, so I don't really want to do that. Right, let's give this a little burnish. And it's such good glue. I love this glue. Okay, and this one here that's printed up with her to-do list and the little lines there, I think that can go in like that. And this one here, which is very pretty, and I've just left blank for a photo, or she could write on it or whatever she wants to do with it. We'll just slip in behind like that. Great. And that will close up and it still stays with the magnets. Brilliant. Then all I need to do is attach this piece of lace here. I'll pop these bits in as well and attach some flowers and sort out some of these little pink gemstones that truly don't go with anything. But there you go, that's the colour for the month. Can't argue with that, can I? Right, let's take the backing off of this. Hopefully it's not too dark for you to see. Come on, come on, come on. This is what takes the time, you know, on the videos. I don't know how to do the editing, so you just have to see it in real time with me at the moment. Maybe as I get better I'll learn how to do it. But this struggle is for real. Right, okay, so this is going to go about here. Just make sure it's about level, which it looks as if it is to me. There's a tiny bit of overhang there which I'll trim off in a moment, but first of all let's get these flowers on. So good amount of glue. I love these autumn colours flowers, they look so pretty. Let's see if my scissors will take a bit more of the backing of this off. It's a bit thick. Yeah, that's better. Much better. Let's get this stuck down. Tuck it in there a bit, I think. That's pretty. Then a couple of these little tiny ones. That needs a bit of a trim as well. So yeah, that can go there. Pretty dimensional these are. You can get away with it on one or two of the pages. You just can't get away with it, you know, if you did it on every page. Most of it has to be kept very flat for a yearbook because you have so many pages that you need to include that the book would be too thick to be manageable, really. Right, that's pretty. And one last one. Bearing in mind my quest for uneven numbers, odd numbers. There we go. Open that up. Now it's just a case of where we're going to put these things, these gemstones. So maybe I'll put a few across the top and scatter a few around the flowers. Maybe that will be the best option. So let's put a few dots around. I can afford to be quite sort of free and easy with it here on the front because nothing else needs to tuck in. Now remember to put the pin back in. There we go. And try out my little toy. If I can remember where I put the glue. Where did I put it? Oh yeah, there. I just put it in random places and I tend to try to group them together a bit, sort of evenly. Come on, pick up. I don't want to play with you tonight, I just want you to do it. Otherwise you can go back in the bag. That's it. Right. There's some glue. And there. There. I don't know if I put another one down anywhere, did I? Oh yeah, there. There we go. That looks quite nice. I probably wouldn't have chosen that colour myself, but hey ho. Now then, let me just think, do we need some in each of the corners? I'm going to put 3 along the top here, I think. 1, 2, 3. Come off, there we go. I'm going to put 3 there, but do I also want 1 in each of the corners to try and tie it all together? Or would it be a bit of overkill? One there. What do you think, guys? Some advice? Shout a bit louder. What do you think about that? Or do you think it just looks spotty? Yeah, I think it looks spotty. You're right. So, what I shall do is just put those 3 on the top. So, work out roughly where the middle is. And I think, personally, that it's about there. Yeah, that's about it. So that's where the first one is going. One there. That can go there. Then I've got another one here, fairly close. Take a look in a moment and see if that's level. Got another one there. Right, let's have a look. See if that's actually level. Yep, it is, amazingly. Right, so that is that page done, which is brilliant. Very pleased with that, didn't take too long. Like I say, I'm having to do a lot of the prep beforehand, because otherwise it would take ages and ages. You know, more than 3/4 of the prep is done before I even do the filming, I think, on this sort of project, simply because I just don't have the time otherwise. Right, and these, let me just trim up that piece of lace that's on the side there and is overhanging. So that's just there and needs to come off. And these little things will fit in to here as well, I expect. There we go, and they're not interfering with the magnets, are they? Not much. Right, okay, brilliant. So that's that one done. That is October. Let me clear away some rubbish. We'll get on with November, and hopefully I can do December as well in this section. So this is November. November is topaz, and I'm not sure what the flowers are. Can't remember. Right, let's move that out of the way and that out of the way. Now before I did this, I've prepped this by putting this cord frays terribly, so I put some glue on my hands and just rubbed it into the ends to stop it from fraying, and it's given it a fairly stiff ending, which I can use as a sort of like a needle to thread it through the hole in the other piece, which is great. So this one here, I think, is a straightforward page, because I'm going to wrap it with 2 of these, which will tie in the front like that, and then the pieces will be behind. So it's going to need a stopper, and what I did with this one was stuck 2 of these together, so that's going to be the stopper there that, you know, everything slots into. Right, okie dokie. So the first thing to do will be to attach these to this, I think. Let me make sure and see if we're going to actually have them attached to this, or whether we're going to have them attached to the page. I usually like to attach them to this, because then it's all neatly stacked out of the way. The mechanism, you know, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we don't need that for a moment. This is a bit awkward because it's already threaded, but I needed to do that. So before I stick this page down onto here, I'm actually going to attach these to the page so that they will open from it. I have already put tape on the back, but I've also got tape on the back of this, so that when this tape comes off, obviously that's going to stick to it, but then it's got its own piece of tape as well, which should compensate. So that's one. This is the other one. Now all I have to do is make sure I get them level. So just by eyeballing it. Oh, the other thing is I've already pierced the hole, so I can level it up by where the hole is, and that's there. So that's just about right there. Yeah, that's perfect. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. Peel up the backing tape. Undo that. Push that over as far as it will go. And stick that back down until I need it. Right, so that's my little doors on. The idea being that, you know, this is attached by tying it in a little bow. And that little tag I found, which I thought was just quite nice, it would just hang on there. Right, okay, so let's attach this stopper, which is going to go just here. So it needs a bit of glue at the bottom. Doesn't need anything at the sides, just at the bottom. Pop that in the middle, which is about there. Hope you can see. Just move that out of the way. Push that down. And before I add any of the decoration, I'm going to actually just stick that to the page. This one's called Sun Kissed. So I can start by removing that loose tape. And this one. Take those off. And then I have the tape that's actually on the back of these little flaps, which can come off. Oh, doesn't have any tape on there. I'll use glue. Okay. My tummy's grumbling away. I hope you can't hear it. Okay, now that's still got tape on, so that enables me to see how much room I have around it, which I think is not a lot actually. A little bit more than that. Right, okie doke. So some glue on these side flaps because I didn't put tape on them. It just looks like it because of the light. Glue on the back. Line this up with the top and the bottom and the sides. I've really cut this fine. I've cut it almost exactly the same size as the card itself, which is a bit silly of me really. It's like there's no edging to it at all. There's a little bit. I tell a lie, there is a little bit. Right, that needs to go maybe a bit more over. About. Come on, don't be a beast. No, it's done, it's gone. Right, well it needs to go there then, in that case. That's that settled. Just remove the bottom bit of tape. And get hold of it. There we go. It's just fiddly the way I've done it because I've had to prep it in advance. It's not all normally as fiddly as this. Right, okay, so that's that. Burnish it down. That has the little doors on it, which are going to be able to close and tie up. Now, behind here is going to sit, and I didn't do a photo one for this one because I just didn't think it needed it. I mean, if she wants to, she can put a photo on here. But, so this is, I had a little sticker, fond memories, so I put that on the top, and that's, she can use that as a to-do list. It's got a, interestingly, like a little calendar on the back as well, which is quite sweet. So that can sit in there like that. And then this is the actual calendar for November. I just need to fill in the days for her. And then it's got some more lines so she can make some more notes if she wants to. Put that in there. These little bits will fit in as well. But first of all, I want to get the flowers and that on the front. So I need to do this up and tie it up. So let's take this and going from the inside through to the front, because this doesn't actually have to be, I've left long strings on it so she doesn't actually have to undo it, she can just loosen it like that to be able to get the bits out. That needs to go that way over, like that, and it's got a little tag. Tie it in a bow. Whoops. Play nicely now, come on. That needs to go that side. Tie it in a little bow. There we go, and leave quite long strings on it. And then I'll go over the ends of those strings again afterwards off camera to put some more glue on there, you know. Right, let's tuck those out of the way for the moment while we get the flowers done. So I have this big one, which I think can go here. And I have this one here, which is lovely and curly. And I think that can go there. And another little one with its own curl, which can go up there. So that looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And then all I've got to do is put the gemstones on. And they will definitely go in this flower centres, but we'll see if they need any more anywhere else. Okay, so let's get this one on first. I've already adhered the leaves, which I cut out, and I went over them with some gold paint. I doubt very much that you can see it in this light, but it's got a slight shimmer to it. So all I need to do basically is stick the leaves and a little bit on these curls, otherwise they'll get caught and damaged. I also shaped the leaves with the ball tool to just give them a little bit more dimension. They've come out really well. I'm very pleased with them actually. So that can go on that side. Stick the leaves down. Even though they're showing off and they don't want to. They're like, what did you give us dimension for if you don't want us to stick up? If the leaves can talk to me, that is. Crazy. Who said I was crazy? Right, that can go there. This one's the same. This needs some bit of glue on the leaves and the stems. On there, a little bit on the curly bits. I'm just worried about them catching on something, you know, as you turn through the pages. So I'm going to make sure they're well firmly stuck down. Pull that out of the way, that can go at the bottom. There we go, that looks nice. And then this one, and that was a spare bit of the curly that I cut off because it would be overhanging the page, but I shall slip it underneath this flower as I stick it down. So just put plenty of glue on there, pop it down. A little bit of glue on the curly. There you go, and just tuck that in anywhere just to help balance it out a bit. Now we need one of these lovely golden colour, topaz I think it's called, gemstones on the flowers. See how that goes. Try one first. Yeah, that's nice. It's going to be nice. One there. One there. And one on there. come on. Come on, don't play about. There we are. I'll give them a good old press down. And to be honest with you, I don't think it needs any more. I think that's enough. What do you think? See if I can get it in any better light for you. Let's pull out the bow. Where's the other side of it gone? Oops, it's undoing. There we go. There we go. Pull the strings a bit. There we are. Yeah, looks pretty. I like that. So that's November done. We're cracking along here, which is really good. Now we just have December to do, and December will be the inside back page. So the next video will be in a couple of days' time, and that will be making the actual album, assembling it all by sticking all the pages in and putting the front and back inside covers in, and then that will be done. Right, okay, so this is December. Let's bring this over carefully because it's all balanced. December's colour is the lovely light blue. I've added some pearls that are, you know, they pick up all the other colours. They're not just white, because I think it's going to be, that'll be prettiest. I've used these, which I think look like hellebores, the Christmas rose to me. They were like a bud flower, but I've opened them out, pressed them right out, and I'm using some ferns. Right, so I've got Lily of the Valley simply because it's white and it's pretty. I have the Sweet Pea one, which I have put a little camera on the back because you can put one of those little tiny small photos on it. There's the calendar, which I've kept separate at the moment. I've got a little sticker that says Friends, I rescued from somewhere. And this, as you can see, is going to be a crossover pocket. I've already stuck down a border of just green trimming, simply because I had it, and I just think it makes a nice little edge like that. So we don't need this paper to come all the way down because it's going to be covered by the pockets. So that's why it just comes down as far as that. It enables me to use a scrap. And I have put the tape on it, that's good. Sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't. So we can get this piece done. There we go. And get this lined up and stuck down. And make sure there's a little border all around this. Try and get it the same all round. There we go. Take these pieces out. Now, if I were making a bigger album and I wanted to stack a lot of photos in behind these cross pockets, I would make them, give them a gusset each side. so that they stand away from the page, but it's not needed here. The only thing that's going to slip in behind them is these two pieces of paper. So basically you can just stick them down as a basic pocket like that, or like that, should I say. So let's get these done first, and I've put tape on the back of these just for speed's sake. You can use tape or glue. I usually prefer to use glue, but I knew that we needed to rattle through this, so I've used tape today. So that's going to go there. Make sure that's nice and straight. That will be stuck down there and there. Bone folder. And this one, I didn't have enough of the green to go down here, but it's not needed because it's going to be covered by this. So I shall just remove this tape and this one. There we go, and just line that up. Making sure we can't see any edges. There we go. And that gives us a really nice cross pocket. I like these cross pockets usually in an album because they will hold so much stuff. But like I say, there's no need for it today. It just needs to hold these really. So I've printed December on here. So that's going to go that way round. The back of it is very beautiful as well. Lines on it, to-do list. Not a lot to do in December apart from plan for the next year really. So that can slip in there, she says. Let me get my bone folder in behind it. Stretch the paper a little bit. Sometimes you need to do that. There we go. So that will slip in behind there and not get itself caught on anything. There we go. Once it's gone in and out a few times, it's quite loose and it's fine. So here is another little sheet that she can either put photo on the back of or write something on, whatever she wants to do. Slip that in. It's just playing up a little bit because it's, it's quite tight. It needs to be used a bit. Once you've slipped the pieces in and out a few times, it's fine. There's no tape in the way of it. It's just being plain awkward. There we go. Right, okay, now I have the separate calendar, the little photo thing, and I think I'll keep that calendar separate. So I'm just going to stick this Lily of the Valley on here and tuck them in behind it, and that leaves that space over there then for the flowers and some pearls. So it's the usual sort of routine. Bit of glue on the very outside edges there. Come on, glue. Very outside edge. And the edge here. There we go. Pop this on the bottom corner. I still like to see a little bit of the edge of the paper coming round, peeking over. So I don't tend to stick it right down to the absolute edge. Just leave a little border as well. Then these pieces can pop in here like that and look very decorative. In you go. Obviously 2 of these sticks will go in. 1 and 2. This may not fit on. Well, it might fit on down there. Let's have a look. Friends. Yeah, it's nice. Just have to be careful not to cover it with the bits that we pop in the pocket. Make these go up more straight. 1 and 2. There we go, like that. Now that just leaves us with these leaves, the flowers, and some pearls. And these flowers are definitely not flat. Let's see if I can get some more off of it. Sometimes you can, sometimes you'll be lucky. Other times you just can't. Come on. Not much. Anyway, right. So let's position these leaves. These look very pretty because they've got like a spine up them. They're gorgeous. I'm going to make the most of that and use that to stick it down. So that one can go there, like that. That one can maybe tuck inside. A little bit of glue. Tuck that inside that flap. And this one can go on top like that. Right, let's just affix these hellebores. Plenty of glue. And then they just, you know, they're going to need sort of 24 hours to dry out. So there's one. And here's the other one. There, don't they look gorgeous with those ferns? They look lovely. And now it's just a case of getting some of these blue gemstones on and some of the white ones. So, I have absolutely no idea where they're going to go at the moment. Let's have a look. See how well this goes with the background colour. It's nice because that cool icy blue, you know, reminds you of winter. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, maybe just sort of scatter them around. Intermingle them a bit with some of the white ones. I'd like to try and get some of the white ones on because I do think they're gorgeous. They're sort of wintry like snowflakes. Let's put a few around and see what happens. Tell me what you think, people. Don't hold back, give me your honest opinion. Oh, these are so gorgeous. I'm trying to place them at uneven intervals because it just looks more, you know, more naturalistic. Oh, and I've got different sizes in this little tub of pearls. That's nice. Don't know how that happened. Maybe one or two on the leaves. What about a blue one on the leaf? No, no blue ones on the leaves, just that little white one overlapping. Three, four. I need another pearl to balance it up. And they're 2 sets of 5. So come on, Pearly, you can go down there. They're gorgeous because they're catching the colours, you know, they're picking up all the other colours. Right, okie dokie. So that's one there. And one there. One there. There's one there. No, you don't turn over. You're not going butter side down. Like the toast. Have you ever dropped the toast and realised it really does go butter side down? So annoying. Did it the other day actually. Right, blodge of glue. Fortunately, I'm lucky in that I can use both hands. With equal amounts of shake. They're both equally as bad. Right, now let's get this little one on down here. There. And this little one here. And that leaves this little one for the leaf. There we go. So what do you think of that? I think it looks quite pretty. And that, my friends, is all of the pages done. All 12 months of the year. Okay, well thank you for sticking with me. I will put these videos up as soon as it allows me to, as soon as YouTube allows me to. And then the next video in a couple of days' time will be the final one, which will be the cover and putting it all together. Okay, thank you. Bye.